What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, and back with some more Alison Moyet, and we're returning to Essex, 1994. Thank you again to Seb. And the next track is Getting Into Something, which on the surface of it seems more positive. It's a colloquialism used typically to mean having found something worthwhile, taking part in something of significance, or to which you are particularly well suited. Like, oh, I'm getting into something here. I found something that is worthwhile of my time, my energy, my participation. Of course, you can get into trouble, so getting into something could bear, if not negative connotations, at least potentially dangerous ones. But on the surface of it, I'm thinking this is more a positive understanding of the phrase, and it would suggest that there is an immediacy or a recency to whatever this something is, and the narrator's participation in, although I suppose it might not necessarily be the narrator, it could be you're getting into something, but ultimately that means the majority of whatever process, movement, event at hand is still in the future, and thus an unknown. Either way, I'll see what I can pick up on a first listen. This is Alison Moyet. The track is Getting Into Something, and it's from her 1994 album Essex.
Getting into something, got me into something good, like I knew you would. Moving into something, move me into something easy, and it pleases me. Took me by surprise, never saw the light until you turned it on. Got me into something, God knows I'm hitting on love, and I wonder why the sun ain't shining where you are. You know it's alright, baby, it ain't over. I was something yes to lose, but it's gone while we can't use together, so it's alright. Getting into something, got me into something wild, and I'm getting high. I'm pulling into something, you pull me into something deeper. Oh, it's deeper now. Took me by surprise, never thought that I would give it out again. Got me into something, God knows I wanna be as close as I'll ever be. Something's getting into me, you know it's alright, baby, it ain't over. I was something yet to lose, but it's gone.
going to try to keep everything in the front view screen here, but to start lyrically, she makes reference to the thing she's getting into in three distinct ways at the start of the verses, which is to say something good, something wild, something deep. So obviously there's a lot of Luca. Her paw just came under the door. A lot of potential within those three terms, but it sounds like something that was unexpected, and indeed, definitely there's an immediacy and a recency to the way she talks about this, but also an indication of the passage of time, especially in relation to that line, what is it, I never meant to hurt you, which suggests that there has not only been further development and interaction, but the at least likelihood that the other party has actually been hurt by this good, wild, and deep experience, connection, relationship, or involvement, but also that it's not over, which is not something that you would say if it had just begun in a very literal and immediate sense. So it sounds like something that came out of nowhere, something that was exciting, a bit wild, a bit out of control, but something that took on very deep meaning and involvement, and maybe that which did not turn out for the other person in the best way, but she's here insisting that that's not the end of the story. There's more to happen. So I'm assuming we're talking a relationship, and one that may have its difficulties, one that may have complications, and maybe the other person feeling stung or hurt by what has transpired, at least in a bottom line calculus type of way. But the narrator is saying, don't let that be the end, or don't think that I'm not still here. So it sounds optimistic and hopeful, and obviously it could be more complicated than just quote-unquote a romantic relationship, but that's the direction that it sounded like given the lines that I caught on a first listen. Sonically, it's another one which has a soulful and indeed gospel type of feel, especially at some points where there's some backing singers who I don't think are layered Alison voices. It sounded like they were different voices, but she herself has a bit of a soulful flourish in some of the line deliveries, a brightness to her delivery, so again, it feels like the ultimate, if not comprehensive, optimism of what I caught from the themes comes across in some of her vocal delivery. Overall, it felt like a more natural instrument tune, and yet there were a couple moments where I heard almost, I don't know if chiptune is the right sound, but a very electronic sounding synth flourish at the very top of the track, and definitely, again, some of a soulful gospel, what's the right word? Not funky. Definitely, I wouldn't say funk is one of the characteristics that stood out to me, but seemingly, again, far away from the more keyboard-driven synth pop sounds of some of her early work, and of course that's been something that's been ongoing. There were multiple tracks on the previous album that had a bit of a soul to them, a bit of a gospel sound, but this one felt very much in that vein as well. And yes, I'm curious to hear, again, if there's any themes or narrative contours that eluded me on this first listen, but it sounds like a hopeful tune, one that I think she delivers exactly as it should sound in terms of her vocal performance. So yes, not the biggest, not absolutely belting and, shaking the house down, but with some nice flourishes and moderate extensions that give it some emotion at the same time. So ultimately, a cool tune, enjoying the diversity of the Alison material as we continue forward. The next track is So Am I, which seems a nice little coincidence given what I just said, and I'm sure many of you are feeling the same. Once again, thank you to Seb for sharing the Alison material. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time. Peace.